So, good evening, friends. I hope you are able to listen me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good. So, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk to the people. And it's a good opportunity that our parliamentary member is already there to join us. So, yes. So today, actually, the way we are doing these things last 1 year, it gives me pleasure that a lot of people from all over, not India only, but all over the world are taking part in this lecture or discussions. And this is a great job that people are doing to spread the knowledge, to ask people from various part of the country or the various part of the world to come together to talk about homeopathy. And in this age particularly, this is very important. I want actually give much time to the introduction, but we'll start with the actual cases. I hope I'm allowed to share.
Yes, sir. You can share, sir.
Okay, let me see whether I can do it. Yeah. Achha, okay. Unfortunately, I'm on the iPad actually, where the slides cannot be shared over here, but we'll talk because you have got 30 minutes only. So I won't waste much of the time. My idea of talking about particularly psychotic miasm and acute cases or chronic cases is two-way. One is the acute cases nowadays are basically with various viral infections, and most of them belongs to the corona group of the viruses, which are nearly 15 to 20. Almost every known virus to us, chickenpox, measles, smallpox, they all belong to this group. And from the day of actually almost before 200 years, when they started treating epidemics, they put thuja as an important remedy to treat smallpox or chickenpox and lot many other things as a psychotic miasm. In those days, Dr. Hahnemann said that 80% people are sorry and remaining are psychotic and syphilitic. But with the age or with the 200 years of passage in the medical field, nowadays we are all aware that psychotic miasm is more prevalent in the society, more active in the society, and I had observed that the role of the antipsychotic remedy is wonderful in treating all these things. Particularly in acute cases, I have used this remedy with a different idea, or other I will say with a different introduction. I will just give you one case. Slides are not able to share because of the iPad actually. One patient, 15 years old girl, she came with a positive COVID report, and that was on 1st July 2020. Her chief complaint was irritation in the throat. Otherwise, she was asymptomatic. I asked for the test, and that was positive. Then I took little history, because in those before 1 year, we took history on the online only. It was difficult to call the patient to the clinic. Her appetite was normal, everything was good, periods were regular. Only thing was little headache when she goes to the sun. She cannot tolerate the cold. And she had got a past history of malaria, dengue, and there was a history of family history of blood pressure, diabetes, etc. So as a person, how she was, that's what I was interested, because this was not enough to decide the remedy. According to her mother, she is little lazy, would not help in a routine household work, and she was little obese also. Father loves her very much. She does not like the household work for her own things even. So there was like a Kalkia Cup child who is lazy, which is pampered also, protected also, and she's in fear of ghost, etc. She would never see any horror film or any horror show. She get fear or frightened easily. So I took the rubrics actually: throat hawking, throat mucus discharge, clinging in the children. She used to stay or sleep with the mother only. She used to pray God at night just to give away the fear of all these ghosts, etc. Fear of disease, fear of death, fear of ghost. Remedy came out was Temonium. But her overall constitution was more of a Kalkia Cup. Now, Kalkia Cup is an antipsychotic remedy we are all aware of. I gave both the remedy to her alternately. Kalkia Cup daily 1 dose in the morning for 3 days, and Stemonium 1 mg. There was 3 pills in a cup of water and 1 teaspoonful water, medicated water, every hour till she is awake. She took it for 3 days. Almost second day onwards, she was feeling better. And by the end of third day, she says, I have got no complaint. I said, no problem. Stay in a room. You should be isolated. This is good for you and the family. You should quarantine. And then there was no other medication for 14 days. She was on placebo only. On 14th day, we got the report again. And that was again positive. As I have talked with Dr. Saji, that in the next after 15 days or month, we'll be able to show all these cases, the record to the audience. Same thing happened actually in another case. So then I realized in acute what is important for us and what we should take care. Usually what happens in all acute problems, every human being, when you meet somebody, you are not well, you seem thin, or you are obese, you put on weight. So that's a normal observation by the relatives. When he goes to any doctor, medical profession, be it allopathic, ayurvedic, homeopathic, or anybody, they will try to evaluate him that how are the reports, his overall condition, physiological condition. They will evaluate the functioning of the various system, whether whatever is a patient is getting problem, they will evaluate one by one. And then in a hospitalized patient or even as a good doctor, everybody will take blood pressure, respiratory rate, temperature, input, output, etc. And this is common in all medical sciences. It is not so that it is a priority of only medical science or hospitals or allopathy. Or they are doing the report. All will ask the report just to see whether it is a viral infection, bacterial infection, whether he has got a, we have to take the swab also at times to see that it is a staphylococcus or streptococcus or something else, or whatever diagnosis you can come with the available data actually, we try to find out. Apart from that, homeopaths are different. They look for something unusual. And that is something special about homeopathy. We are getting, or we are asking the patient, how is your energy? How is your routine day-to-day work? How is your sleep? How are your dreams? How do you do your routine activity? What are your interests? And then we go for details of the normal physiology that usually allopathic doctors or others say patient is thirsty because of the fever. No, we say thirsty, how much? Every hour, every half an hour, every 4 hours. So we try to go in more detail to understand it. After that, actually, apart from the common indices or ultrasonography, we try to evaluate the overall mental makeup. They have got fear, they are anxious, they are active, they are dull. Everything we evaluate, to understand that what kind of a person who is sick. And this is the most important part that modern medicine is missing. They don't go for it. They say reports are there, that's enough to prescribe. But we always mean that reports are not important. Reports are important, but not only things that on which you can prescribe. There are hundreds of people who will send you a report, but homeopathy cannot prescribe. We try to understand a human being as a person and why they are getting any disease. Forget the viral infection, bacterial infection, diabetes or blood pressure, chronic disease or acute disease. Why did they get it? We start from the day they are conceived to the day they have come to our practice. So it may a history of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, depend. But our idea is to find out that any acute problem or chronic problem has not come overnight. It is the way your body responds to the situation around yourself. Look, we are looking for anything that is abnormal. And any vital clue, any peculiar symptom, any keynotes that guide us to various questions, to various ideas, and most important in acute cases particularly. Today I am talking about acute basically, exciting factor, peculiar symptom, and mental and general state. These three parts are very important. Excited the disease or excited the sickness, why somebody is sick. Second is, what is peculiar about him or her. You know, I had been to somebody's place at one time for fever, and that fellow was very cool and time when he used to come to my clinic. And I used to treat him since 2 years for recurrent cold cough, which every time he responded to some medicine to some days and then again get relapsed. One day I go to him at his house to see because he was sick and he was having fever. He was having 102 or 103 degree fever. At that time, I realized he was so anxious and so impatient that was never so in my clinic. He used to wait for half an hour, 1 hour, or 2 hours for medicine. And when I went to his house, he shouted at his wife, make coffee, make these things, bring my report, bring these things. And then I realized, why are you doing so? His wife said, doctor, you are not knowing. He is very impatient, very hurried, very angry, very irritable. He doesn't trust people. I said, he had never shown this to me. Then his architect had been there for his house, which was under construction. He said, doctor, explain him. He wanted a absolutely kind of doors which are totally double door closed for these small bungalows, and it will make this house as a jail actually. He wanted all windows are to be having iron bars everywhere in there around the house. I said, why it is so? He said, you Bhaskar, you know, he was my actually friend. He said, you know, anybody can come at night and anything can happen. So I'm very careful and I'm taking care of these things. And then I gradually realized that the fellow whom I was treating with Marxol is nitric acid. His anxiety for health, his anxiety for fear of the people, he's feeling that everybody can come and harass me or harm me. And he had lots of other things to do in order to make it safe that I am safe. With the nitric acid for 2 days, his entire complaint for 2 years, apart from the fever, everything has gone. And then I realized I was missing this because I didn't take his mental state. So mental and general state, peculiar symptom, and exciting factor, if 3 you are getting, you are winning the case actually. It's the same way the earlier case which we had seen. We realized that the stemmonium was important. The reason was the fear, the clinging, etc. And I gave Kaligakab as a complementary because that was a constitutional, and stemmonium and Kaligakab are complementary to each other. This is what homeopathy is, particularly in acute cases. I will give you another case which is equally important. This is again a case of a COVID actually. And this girl is a doctor. She was under my actually in my clinic also working earlier days. And when I started her treatment, she said on the phone, Doctor Sir, I have got a COVID positive, and my family, everybody has got COVID, and I'm worried a lot. And now, who will take care of us? Because we are, every one of us, 5 people are having COVID. I said, all of you can take the treatment. Why don't you bother for that? And almost all of them have been cured within 7 days. In her case, I took these things as an important part, that she was worrying a lot for her child, for her daughter, son, and husband, and brother-in-law. These 4 people, they had COVID. She was not worrying for herself, worrying for them. Anxiety for the family members. Absolutely, she was so anxious. She said, I cannot sleep. At 3 o'clock, I used to wake up. I cannot have a good rest even. And even with these things, we are making food at home because we, all of us are having this problem. So we are quarantined at home only and give me some medication. So I took this rubric as anxiety for the family people, caring for the family, the aggravation at 3 a.m. and lots of weakness. I gave her Kalika. And with this Kalika, an intercurrent dose of Thuja, which I used to give to a lot of people. Within 3 days, every symptom had gone. And she said, Sir, symptom has gone, but I'm worried. I said, don't worry. Stick to the medicine. I gave her placebo and wait, and let us go for the test after 15 days. After 15 days, she didn't go for the test. She said, no, I still feel I'll get some problem, and then I'm not prepared. So let's wait for 15 days more. She waited for 1 month, remained quarantined out of fear only. And after that, her case, she was absolutely normal. There was no problem. Report said negative, only with homeopathic medicine. And they stick to homeopathy only. Then same thing happened with the daughter also. But in a daughter case, I gave her Pulsatilla. She had loss of smell and taste. So the rubric I took was in the nose, smell, wanting, smell along with the loss of taste. With that actually, her mildness, her weeping, her worries, her thirstlessness, which was very strong. So I gave Pulsatilla and Thuja. Thuja intercurrent, 1 dose every day for 3 days, and Pulsatilla in water, 1 ml. I used to give 3 pills in 1 cup of water and 1 teaspoonful every hour for entire day when they are awake. When they are sleeping, no need to give medicine. Within 3 days, her fever went away. Taste came back within 7 days, and within 14 days, her reports are normal.
Excuse me, sir. But sir, can you wind up within 2 minutes, sir?
Definitely. I won't take much time because
Okay.
I have got plenty of cases to show, and I know
Okay, sir.
that
Okay.
we have got the guest who is going to look after us also in the parliament and in the
Yes.
government
Yes,
for the sake of homeopathy.
yes.
So my idea is we are going to talk about this and psychotic remedy, how we can utilize it, where we should utilize it in acute and chronic, and we'll take that lecture after 15 or 20 days whenever the time permits or whenever Dr. Saji decides. So thank you very much for listening me. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be here with you people, and I'm very happy to share my thoughts with you, and still will go ahead with this idea.
Yes, sir. I apologize for the inconveniences, and definitely
No problem,
I
no
will
problem.
call
I can
back to
understand.
Dr. Bhaskar
What
sir
you are
again.
planning, that is going to help us a lot. And I know that part. Rather, that is important for homeopathy. We don't have anybody to talk about us in the parliament. So
Okay.
we need people who can talk for us actually. Thank you very much. Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
sir. Thank you. So I already declared that I already rescheduled Dr. Bhaskar Bhatt sir on June 13, Sunday, as per doctor's convenience. So definitely we will bring doctor back, and we are proud to have Dr. Bhaskar Bhatt with us. So I remind you, we will be back with the Dr. Bhatt again.
Thank you,
So
sir.
at that
Thank you.
time, yeah, thank you, sir. So we are expecting our member of parliament from Kerala, who is very supportive of homeopathy also, or Sri E.T. Muhammad Bashir, who is very former education minister of Kerala. And earlier, Sri E.T. Muhammad Bashir had also joined us in our Zoom for discussion. And today again joining, last 2 days, we are bringing member of parliaments to our session for continuous discussions to enhance our political support also. And their support is very important, as we are seeing in the world. What we lack now is the political support, and we need to develop political support for us. Actually, research and everything is secondary. What we are seeing now, it is the political might and political attachment that is bringing worthiness. Even for untested things, if political support is there, there will be emergency use authorization will be there. So we need to seek that support. And these are very good member of parliamentarians from Kerala. They are very pro people, and they are very in favor of what is good. And we definitely believe their interference will help homeopathy to promote, and also to seek support for homeopathy, as the Indian government itself is very supportive of homeopathy, because India is the only country in the world where, other than allopathy, all other systems are incorporated into a ministry itself. So the parallel ministry for health welfare of people are running in India only in the entire world, and that is very unique in India, and we are proud of it. So we are soon expecting Sri E.T. Muhammad Bashir, who is a very nice person, joining us and helping us for this. As the time being, it is 9 o'clock in Indian time, so I hand over the session to Sri Firoz Khan for continuing the next session with Sri E.T. Muhammad Bashir. We begin with English, but we will slowly convert into our local language for the other people who join us. Please understand, to our international audience. So I hand over to the session to Sri Firoz Khan.
Thank you, Dr. Shaji. That was a nice class done, and I think we are expecting Mr. E.T. Muhammad Bashir. The last October 2nd, especially the Gandhi ceremony, that day he was attending our Zoom seminar earlier. So it's hardly nearby around 6 months back he attended our forum. So we are expecting him. I think he joined, right? Yes. Mr. Abel, can you unmute? Bashir sir?
Yes, he can unmute himself. Sir, please unmute.
So can you please switch on your camera?
Bashir sir?
Okay. It's asking for one more minute. This was a slide, the last, when he was attending our seminar, that was in October 2nd, 2020. Dr. Shaji, when will be the seminar for completely for the Tukki? When we are planning?
On 27.
27.
Yeah, yeah. May 27, Thursday.
27 Thursday. Okay.
അല്ല പ്രിയമുള്ള സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ സെഷനെ പറ്റി എൻ്റെ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ തന്നെ ഈ പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും കോവിഡ് ചികിത്സാ രംഗത്തും മറ്റു രംഗത്തും ഒക്കെ പിന്നെ ഹോമിയോപ്പതിയുടെ പ്രയോജനവും ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്തണമെന്ന് ശക്തിയായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞാന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാൽ നിങ്ങൾ സെമിനാറുകളിലും പങ്കെടുത്തു. ആ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതിയല്ലോ?
മലയാളത്തിൽ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്.
ഓക്കെ.
സാറിന് അതിനു മുമ്പായിട്ട് ഒരു 1-2 കാര്യങ്ങൾ സാറിന്റെ ശ്രദ്ധയിലേക്ക് പെടുത്താം. അപ്പോൾ അത് ആക്ച്വലി സാർ ഇതിപ്പോ October 2 ആയിരുന്നു സാർ വന്നിരുന്നത്. ആ സ്ലൈഡാണ് ഇപ്പൊ ഈ കാണുന്നത്. ഇന്ന് 265ാമത്തെ സെഷനാണ്. ഇത് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് 265 ദിവസം ആവുന്നു. ഇത് പ്രധാനമായിട്ടും നോൺ ഹിയറിംഗ് ആണ്. ലോകത്തിലുള്ള ഏകദേശം 65ഓളം രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള പാർട്ടിസിപ്പൻസ് നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. എല്ലാ ദിവസവും 8:30 to 9:30 ആണ് സാർ ഈ ഒരു സെമിനാർ നടക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ,
അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയാണ്. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത്, ഐ തിങ്ക് എവരിബഡി ക്യാൻ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് മലയാളം. ദാറ്റ്സ് വൈ ഐ ആം ടോക്കിംഗ് ഇൻ മലയാളം. അങ്ങനെ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു സംഗതി പറയാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, ഒന്ന്, ആസ് മൈ ഓൺ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്, I really love homeopathy because I'm fully convinced that it is the best, one of the best treatment channel, and I have my own experience as well as the experience of my family. In that way, I'm proud to say, not only to say, but to certify the goodness and the effectiveness of homeopathy. That is one thing. That as far as my personal and family experience is concerned. Rendavathu, I am doing my level best to get it done or approval and whatever is required by the government, state government as well as central government. അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള നിങ്ങളുടെ സെമിനാറിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത് കിട്ടിയ വിവരങ്ങൾ ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ഈ കാര്യം ടേക്കപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ടേക്കപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെന്ന് മാത്രമല്ല, ഞാൻ പിന്നെ പാർലമെന്റിൽ ചോദിച്ച ചോദ്യവും അതിൻ്റെ റിപ്ലൈയും ഞാൻ അന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചില ആളുകൾക്ക് അയച്ചു തന്നു. In order to repeat that, I will just read it out. What exactly I asked in the parliament and what is the reply I got from the parliament. My question was on 12th February in unstarred question. Question was like this: to the Ayush Ministry. A, whether the government has taken note that the homeopathic medicine were not permitted for use for COVID-19 related treatment. B, if so, the details thereof. C, the details of the direction issued by government in this regard. The reply is for A, it says yes. It means government has, this is not utilized properly. Yes, homeopathy treatment as a standalone is not permitted in COVID-19 treatment. However, the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, through advisory dated 6/3/2020 and guidelines for Ayush practitioners for COVID-19 allowed Ayush intervention, including homeopathy, as add-on to standard of care. Okay, it means that they are saying it's okay. At the same time, standalone treatment of the homeopathy as it is not allowed. At the same time, they have given guidelines to use that treatment as an add-on to standard of care. That's what they have said. And what they have done for the use of this kind of treatment, they says, Ministry of Ayush has taken following steps with the help of Ayush system of medicine, including homeopathy, for COVID-19 related treatment. 1. Ministry of Ayush issued an advisory on 29/1/2020 on how to protect oneself from the COVID and how to stay healthy. 2. While letter dated 6/3/2020, all chief secretaries of the states Baronian territories were informed about specific suggestions on augmentation of general immunity of people and about possible Ayush intervention. Coming to the last 2 points, they have even wrote, Ministry has also issued self-care guidelines on 31st March 2020 for the preventive health measures and boosting immunity with special reference to respiratory health. Next, guideline for registered practitioners of respective system of Ayush, including homeopathy, were made available in public domain for benefit of registered Ayush practitioners, including homeopathy, to help the management of COVID-19 pandemic uniformly. Next, Ministry of Ayush through various research organizations and National Institute under Ministry of Ayush has conducted about 105 interdisciplinary clinical studies, including 20 studies on homeopathy at 136 centers in the country. Clinical research studies are also conducted on Ayush interventions as intervention in high risk population, targeting approximately 0.5 lakhs population, and as an add-on to the standard care of COVID-19 management. These are the detailed reply they have given. But in this, of course, they have given due consideration for the homeopathy, but not exactly for standalone kind of treatment like allopathy and things like that. But this is the stand of the government. But in most of the states, as an add-on treatment process, they are doing it. At the same time, in the state like Kerala, even though they are all aware about this, and the people have brought this into the notice. Kerala, the doctors are sitting here. I saw them in the screen. They have also approached the government. One thing you all may be knowing, during the chief ministership of Sri Oommen Chandy, Kerala was the first state in India where homeopathy dispensaries were allowed panchayat-wise. I don't know the exact figure, but you can have a comparative study. You may be having all the statistics with you. Kerala is in the forefront of it. So that much of encouragement we have given during our period. Now, I think there is some kind of reluctance on the part of the government to encourage this. So we have to take it up. Kerala doctors who are the members of your organization, they are very alert on this. I used to meet most of my friends in this area, and we are having very close relations. And they are doing their level best, and we will support this. There are many other politicians also who are very much interested in the subject, and we are all doing that. Yeah, I would again promise you that we will do our continuous effort, no doubt on this. And whatever may be your suggestions, you can write to me, or your leaders are there, most of the office bearers, your association, they are also sitting here. Through them also you can communicate to me, or you can write to me, or you can mail to me. And from our side, if you want to bring anything more to the attention of the Parliament, I am at your disposal. I am happy to do it, because as I told you in the beginning, I am quite happy with your this branch of medicine. So we are very interested and we are committed. So I promise you that from our side, what best we can do, we will do it for you. No doubt about that. If you have any other additional thing to be noted by me, I'm happy to hear it. But anyhow, I have got some, because of this Kerala politics and matters like that, I got 2-3 meetings also prepared.
Maximum within 10 minutes. Dr. Shaji,
Yes.
they are right now, they are coming with the second wave and the third wave, the black spot and all. Can you please explain the scientificity, how we can cure with homeopathy? Because Mr. E.G. Mohammed Bashir sir, he is really convinced about homeopathy, but he wants to know more about what is the second wave and what is the black spot and all. Can you please explain it scientifically with this knowledge?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for your great support. You are always offering and staying with us and standing with us. We have much respect and gratefulness towards you. And a few things before I go to the scientific aspect of it, I wish to bring to your attention is number one, the homeopathic medical college hospitals are earlier taken for allopathic treatment as first line COVID treatment, and their homeopathic treatment for COVID-19 is not taking place. Now homeopathy is emerging as the best prevention and treatment, and even post COVID rehabilitation is available with the homeopathy. Such a hospital should be immediately handed over to our authorities, homeopathic doctors and homeopathic superintendents of the hospital, so that the homeopathic treatment will be made available to COVID patients, both for prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation. That is number one, very important point, sir. Then we also appreciate, since the conventional medicine lacks proper treatment, additional COVID treatment centers should start with all the available facilities in Kerala, and Kerala is the number one with such kind of facilities, where we can bring out a Kerala model to the entire world. That is very important. Then Supreme Court has issued that homeopathic doctors can treat in favor of COVID-like symptoms, not only add-on treatment. The Supreme Court allowed COVID-like symptoms can be treated, because in homeopathy, we are not treating the disease, we are treating the patient, and Supreme Court allowed homeopathic doctors to treat COVID-like symptoms is actually a very important advantage for us. But in Kerala, Kerala is the only state not yet implemented that Supreme Court order. So we need to take care and pressurize, and especially the Ayush Secretary, who is an allopathic doctor. We appreciate your interference in that matter. We appreciate you to call and connect with the new Health Minister of Kerala and the Health Secretary, Ayush Secretary, and all these connected people, so that your interference will become very relevant for homeopathy and its treatment and its beneficial use for the people of Kerala. Then coming to another important point, there is a vaccine excluded community around the world, especially in Kerala and India, where children below 17 years, pregnant ladies, would-be pregnant ladies, and lactating women, and people with allergy. Such people can be definitely protected by the use of homeopathic prophylaxis or immune booster, which can be regularly given. But no government, even though there is a Ayush government separately functioning in India, government is not taking initiative like the way they are taking initiative for vaccine distribution, with the propaganda, with education through the media, and such things can be suggested to the government, because people trust the political leadership when they say it in the media. We should but unfortunately such things are not happening, so the media are not discussing, so it is getting out of the highlight of the people at large and at the attention of the people. So that we appreciate such a reminder should be given to the Chief Minister of Kerala, Health Minister of Kerala, and the concerned authorities. Then the new problem with the COVID treatment now is the development of black and white fungus. And very important to note that these things are happening because of the lack of immunity due to the immune suppressive treatment like steroids widely used during COVID treatment in allopathic hospital. We don't like to blame it, but since it is happening and nobody is talking about it, we know the fact, so we are supposed to tell you, at least to your attention. So why these things are happening in post-COVID patients should be investigated. So I appreciate to bring this attention to the member, as a member of parliament, to the parliament, and proper investigation should be done with the concerned authorities, not only consisting of allopathic doctors, but experts from all systems of medicine, so that the opinions of experts belonging to other system of medicine will be brought to the parliament and at attention of the respected ministers and other secretaries and authorities. These are very important points. So this suppression of immunity is an important point. Then why most of the deaths happen in COVID treatment is mostly because of the suppression of fever, especially in COVID, because in COVID, it is a lung infection and it is a viral infection. When the suppression paracetamol is taken immediately, we are allowing the multiplication of viruses that lead to increase in viral load that increases the infective capacity. Whereas in bacterial diseases, they give paracetamol to suppress the fever. Along with that, they give antibiotics also. So the antibiotics will kill the bacteria and decrease the viral bacterial load, so that the level of infection will be minimal. But in viral infection, since there is no proper treatment, no antiviral medicines, the moment they decrease the fever by giving paracetamol, fever is actually a protective mechanism to prevent the multiplication of these viruses. When we suppress the fever, we are actually allowing the multiplication, thereby increasing the infective state. That is the reason. But these things are not properly taken care of by the hospitals. They declare they have no treatment, but unfortunately, they are the only authorized treatment for COVID in the world. Is unfortunate thing. Whereas people like homeopathy, holistic treatments are the best for against viral infections. But since the World Health Organization don't consider these holistic treatments, India is the one leading with such kind of treatments in the world. We need to pressurize Indian Parliament and Indian political leadership to equally, we are not telling supremacy, we equally consider Ayush systems in the treatment with the equal funding and even more funding, because we lags behind a lot. So little additional fund should be provided for Ayush systems of medicine from future, so that the development of these systems will become very relevant in future, so that it will be properly used for the welfare of people of India and especially in people of Kerala. This much only I wish to state now, sir. Over to you, sir.
Great, Dr. Shaji. Sir, what is it?
You have said in detail. Now 8 points I have noted down. And if any more clarification is required, I will keep in touch. There are certain things to be done at the Government of India level, and certain points to be done at the state government level. As far as matters pertaining to the national government is concerned, central government is concerned, I will prepare a note on this and send it to you. And if any modifications are recorded in that, you can suggest. That can be done in that way. Similarly, as far as Kerala situation is concerned, you have said in detail. What I can do is, now the new government has taken place, and assembly is in session now, it's starting tomorrow. So we have got a good number of MLAs whose service can be used for this. So you can give a detailed note on the matters pertaining to Kerala government, and then now we can bring it to the notice of the MLAs. In that way also will be able to take it up at the government of Kerala level. These are the two things I want to tell you. Further clarification, if needed, I will keep in touch with you. These are all the certain things which I want to confirm again. I hope Mr. Joshi and others kindly permit me to go. Okay, can I go now? Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
ഒരൊറ്റ പോയിന്റ് കൂടി പറഞ്ഞു സാർ വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം സർ. ഒരാളെ കൂടി സാറിന്റെ മുമ്പിൽ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. സാറിന് അറിയാവുന്ന ആളാണ്, കാലിക്കറ്റുള്ള ഡോക്ടർ ഇസ്മായിൽ സേഠ്. സർ, ഇതിനു മുമ്പ് ഇതിപ്പോ പല വേവാണ് പറയുന്നത്. ഫസ്റ്റ് വേവ്, സെക്കൻഡ് വേവ്, തേർഡ് വേവ്, ബ്ലാക്ക് ഫംഗസ് പറയുന്നു.
Let me just add because 1 minute.
Yeah.
Very good.
സർ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ സർ? സർ ഒരൊറ്റ പോയിന്റ് കൂടി ഉള്ളൂ, അതുകൂടി ഒന്ന് പറയുകയാണ് സാർ. കാര്യം കേരളത്തിൽ മാത്രമാണ് ഇതിപ്പോ ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റിന് കോവിഡ് ചികിത്സയ്ക്ക് അനുവാദം കൊടുക്കാത്തെന്നുള്ളത് സാർ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു, സാറിന്റെ ശ്രദ്ധയിൽപ്പെടുത്തി കഴിഞ്ഞു. സർ അതില് ചിക്കൻ ഗുനിയ വന്നപ്പോഴും കേരളത്തിലെ പല പകർച്ചവ്യാധികൾ വന്നപ്പോഴും അതിനെ കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് പിടിച്ചു നിർത്തുകയും 250 കോടി രൂപ പോലും മുടക്കി അലോപ്പതി അടക്കം ബാക്കിയുള്ള ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റിൽ നടക്കാതെ വന്നപ്പോൾ അന്ന് ജി ശങ്കരൻ മന്ത്രിയായിരുന്ന ടൈമിൽ അതിനെ കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്ത ഡോക്ടർ ഇസ്മായിൽ സേട്ടും ഡോക്ടർ ലത്തീഫ് സാറും നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ഇപ്പൊ ഉണ്ട്. അവരുടെ ഒരു അനുഭവം കൂടെ കേട്ട് നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം സർ.
Because I am very busy. That's why.
സാർ പോകണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ പുള്ളിയെടുത്ത് പേഴ്സണായിട്ട് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. പോകണമെങ്കിലേ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടിക്കുന്നത് ശരിയല്ല. ഞാൻ സമയമുണ്ടോ സാർ? ഞാൻ ഡോക്ടർ ഇസ്മായിൽ സെട്ട്, കോഴിക്കോട് ഭൂമി കോളേജ് പഠിച്ചപ്പോഴാണ്. അറിയുമായിരിക്കും, കേട്ടോണ്ടായിരിക്കും, അറിയില്ല.
You can just, because senior like you, tell me.
അത് വേറൊന്നുമല്ല സാർ, അന്ന് 1994 ഇവിടെ ജപ്പാനീസ് ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സ് വന്നു. അന്ന് ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്തായിരുന്നു ഞാൻ സൂപ്രണ്ടായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തിരുന്നത്. അന്ന് ഡോക്ടർ രവീം നായർ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ അവിടെ ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റ് ചെയ്തു. ഞങ്ങളവിടെ പോയി 2 ആഴ്ചക്കുള്ളിൽ ജപ്പാനീസ് ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സ് ഇവിടെ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റി. ആ ഒരു അനുഭവം ഇവിടെ കിടക്കെ അത് എല്ലാവർക്കും ബോധ്യപ്പെട്ട കാര്യമാണ്. അന്ന് മന്ത്രിതലത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞു, സെക്രട്ടറി തലത്തിൽ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി പറഞ്ഞു. അതിന്റെ പേരിൽ IMAക്കാർ ഒരുപാട് പ്രക്ഷേപണം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനത്തെ സെക്രട്ടറി അടുത്ത് മിനിസ്റ്റർ അടുത്തേക്ക് മിനിസ്റ്റർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പറയേണ്ട കാര്യമൊന്നുമില്ല, അനുഭവങ്ങൾ തെളിയിച്ച കാര്യമാണ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ പറയും, വ്യക്തമൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത്. ആലപ്പുഴ കളക്ടറും പറഞ്ഞു, ഇദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു, കോട്ടയം കളക്ടറും പറഞ്ഞു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് 2-3 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് ഇവിടെ ജപ്പാൻ ഇത് വരുന്നത്, ഡോക്ടർ ലത്തീഫിന്റെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പാൾ സമയത്ത് കോഴിക്കോട് വരുന്നത്. അന്ന് 258 കോടി രൂപ മുടക്കിയിട്ടും ശരിയാവാത്തതാണ് ഒരു 2 ലക്ഷം രൂപ 2 കോടി രൂപ കൊണ്ടിട്ട് രാമമൂർത്തി സാറ് ശരിയാക്കി കൊടുത്തത്. രാമസാറിന്റെ അടുത്ത് ലത്തീഫ് സാറ് അതിന്റെ കണക്കെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുത്തു. അങ്ങനെ ആ മരുന്ന് ചെയ്തു. ഒരു 2-3 ആഴ്ച കൊണ്ട് അത് രോഗം ഇവിടെ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റി. ഇത് നേരത്തെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ അനുഭവം ശേഷം 2 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞാണ് ഇതുണ്ടാകുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അനുഭവം ഗവൺമെന്റിൽ നിന്ന് നിൽക്കുകയാണ്, ഫയലിൽ കിടക്കുകയാണ്. എന്നിട്ട് പോലും ആദ്യത്തിൽ ഈ രോഗം വന്നിട്ട് ഞങ്ങളെ വിളിച്ചില്ല. എല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞ് അവസാനം ഒരു കുട്ടിച്ചോറ് പരിവായപ്പോഴാണ് ഡോക്ടർ ലത്തീഫിനെ അടുത്ത് വിളിച്ച് പറയും. രാമമൂർത്തി സാർ നേരിട്ട് വിളിച്ച് പറയായിരുന്നു ചെയ്യണമെന്നിട്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതാണ് ഇവിടുത്തെ നടക്കുന്ന പൊളിറ്റിക്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. കാരണം 2-3 അനുഭവം ഉണ്ടായിട്ട് പിന്നെയും നമ്മുടെ അടുത്ത് അതിനാണ് ചിക്കൻ ഗുനിയ വന്നു, അതുപോലെ കോളറ വന്നു. ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ശരിയായ രീതിയിൽ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, കാണിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. IMAക്കും അറിയാം, നാട്ടുകാർക്കും അറിയാം, ഗവൺമെന്റിനും അറിയാം, മന്ത്രിമാർക്കും അറിയാം, MLAമാർക്കും എല്ലാം അറിയാം. എന്നിട്ട് പോലും അടുത്തൊരു എപ്പിടേക്ക് വരുമ്പോഴേ ഞങ്ങളെ വിളിക്കാറില്ല, ഞങ്ങൾ എൻജോയ് ചെയ്യാറില്ല. അതാണ് ഇപ്പോഴും നടന്നത്. ഇപ്പൊ ഈ പാൻഡമിക്കാണ്, ഞങ്ങളത് ഒന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. അവസാനം സെൻട്രൽ ഗവൺമെന്റ് റൂൾ പ്രകാരം വന്നിട്ട് ഒരു 8 മാസം ശേഷമാണ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അനുവാദം തരുന്നത് പ്രിവെന്റീവ് കൊടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി. അത് പ്രിവെന്റീവ് കൊടുത്തു തുടങ്ങി. അപ്പോഴേ ഫണ്ടില്ല, കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ഫണ്ടില്ല. ഞാൻ ലത്തീഫും കൂടെ പലയിടത്തും ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് 1-2 കമ്പനികൾ കുറച്ച് മരുന്ന് അയച്ചു തന്നു. ആ മരുന്നാണ് മെഡിക്കറ്റ് കൊടുത്തത്. അപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് പിന്നെയും നിർത്തേണ്ടി വന്നു. പിന്നെ ആ മതി ഇവിടെ എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് കെട്ടിക്കിടക്കുകയായിരുന്നു, ഒരു 18,000 ml അത് ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ ആഴ്ച ഗവൺമെന്റിനെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചു. അത് ഇവിടുത്തെ കോഴിക്കോട് DMO ഒന്ന് വാങ്ങിച്ചും പോയി. അവരിപ്പോൾ ആ മരുന്ന് കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. ഇതാ സ്ഥിതിവിശേഷം. ഇതിന് നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ തരണം ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് നോക്കേണ്ടത്.
ഡോക്ടർ പറഞ്ഞത് ശരിയാണ്. അത് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു എന്താ പറയാ, ഒരു
ചിറ്റമനയം, ചിറ്റമനയം.
നമ്മൾ നോക്കാം, നമ്മളെ ലെവലില്
ഇപ്പൊ ഏതായാലും മരങ്ങൾ മാറിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി തിരിച്ചു വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. പുതിയ മന്ത്രിമാര് യുവതലമുറയാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. മാറ്റം ഉണ്ടാവും പറഞ്ഞു. ഇപ്പൊ കോൺഗ്രസിനാണെങ്കിൽ മാറ്റം വന്നു, 2 പേര് മാറി നിന്നിട്ട് ഇപ്പം പുതിയൊരു പ്രതിപക്ഷ നേതാവ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ മാറ്റങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ മാറ്റങ്ങളെ ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് ഹോമിയോപ്പതിയെ സഹായിക്കണമെന്നാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കുറച്ച്. സാറിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും ഉയർന്ന തരത്തിലുള്ള സഹായം ചെയ്യണമെന്നാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ റിക്വസ്റ്റ്.
ഞങ്ങളോട് കാര്യം എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം. ഏതായാലും കാര്യങ്ങൾ വിശദീകരിച്ചു. എന്തെങ്കിലും വേണേൽ എനിക്ക് അറിയാം, ധാരാളം അങ്ങനെ പറ്റി എനിക്കറിയാം. നമ്മൾ അടുത്ത ഇടപഴകില്ലെന്ന് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. നല്ല കാര്യം നമ്മൾ ഇടപെട്ടോ. ഏതായാലും താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച് ഫോർ ഗിവിംഗ്.